And we are live and we're rolling and we're going to let some friends and family come on. And as people come on, we'll start talking a little bit and you can see. So if you're on and you're watching, just comment. I want everyone to just say hello. Don't stay in the background. You don't have to get very involved in the conversation. So far you can see the number of 0 people on. You don't have to get very involved in the conversation, but we would like to know that you're here so we can send a shout out to you. And then, yeah. So as people, I've been advertising, people are slowly coming on. I know you've been on talking to people and everything. So
also I sent a lot of texts as well, maybe an hour ago.
Yeah. So we have one person on so far. So how has this been for you so far these last couple of weeks being on with your wife? Is it
interesting? It's amazing how actually how popular you are. So many people that know you.
Yeah, it's still interesting for me as well to know how many people listen to the podcast and watch the YouTube channel and Instagram, just the things that interest them about my life. It's really amazing to me. It humbles me every day. I'm really amazed. I really am. To people, I tell people they have to remember where you come from. I think that's really important because they see me right now and think, hey, reseller Wendy, what is going on? How you doing today? Who else is in the chat today? I can't wait for more friends to come on so Thomas and I can really get into the conversation. We have 2 people on because we don't want anyone to miss anything. Everyone just say hello. And if you are a reseller or a business owner, put your information. Don't be afraid to put your information in the comments because this is how we make connections and meet new friends and build businesses. Hello, Terry Tucker, sister-in-law. How you doing? I'm so glad you could join us. That means your brother has been active getting the word out. Hello. It's 3 people in the chat. Just say hello so that we can acknowledge you. Thank you. Hello. Hey, Glow Girl Glow. Nikki, what is going on? I'm so glad that everybody can join us today. I am Leslie Tucker, better known as a reseller's passion. And this handsome young man is?
I am Thomas Tucker Jr., also known as Pasha Dude. X.
So I guess that's going to be his trademark and everyone's going to recognize him from that. So once we start getting out into the world again and going to events, people are going to stop him and want him to do that every time. So it's just like me saying, hey, friends, or hello, friends. How you doing, friends?
Well, so, I started it, so hey.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty cool to see. So for the people who are just joining us, I came up with this idea because I have this YouTube channel and I'm really growing on Instagram and Thomas is starting to grow. And for him to get used to talking to the community, people always ask about him. I talk about him very often and some people don't believe that he's real. So I wanted him to bring his knowledge to the table and be able to talk about some of the things that he's been doing in reselling, but also things that we can talk about like marriage, children. And so I came up with this idea to promote us every Tuesday. It's called Tucker Talk. So I thank you for joining us. 3 Queens Resell. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Most of the people that are joining, I know, and I try to remember people's names as I go. So tonight, Thomas is really going to be in charge. He's going to run everything. He has all these questions. So what's going to happen is he's going to ask me questions and I'll answer, and then he'll answer the same questions. And then we want everyone in the chat to put their all your information in there. At least say hello. If you own a business, put that information. Like Terry, you can put Tasia's information. We want people to be able to grow, and this is how we grow together. So take it away, Thomas.
Okay. Like she was saying, we came up with a bunch of questions, and we're going to ask each other the questions, but we are hoping that you guys, if you have questions that are similar or you have answers, you can answer too, and we'll try to see if she can put them up on the screen. Yeah. First question, how has reselling affected our family as far as time, our money, and the relationships are concerned? So it's a 3-part question.
So how has reselling affected our family as far as time, money, and relationship? And like Thomas said, not only are we going to answer, we want you guys to answer too, because I'm going to highlight some questions on the screen. So be prepared to answer, and you can ask any questions as we go along that are relatable to what we're talking about, or any additional questions you want us to answer. For one, I started reselling so that I can have a closer relationship with Thomas. So as far as that, I think it's gotten better. I mean, we have the normal challenges like any married couple, but I think we're stronger than most. And so I started reselling so that we could almost like constantly date each other, So if we went sourcing together, or when he brings items in, he shares them with me, or we have something that we can talk about. Like I learn from him, he learns from me. So as part of that part, our marriage part, I think it's actually grown from that aspect. Family, the children are older, so that really hasn't affected, especially our two girls who are officially high school graduates. Yay! And so we don't have any little children, so I think that has helped us also. I wasn't really as active in reselling when they were younger. Everyone was a little bit older before I left my job and became active in this business. So in terms of family, it hasn't affected me personally. And then outside family, it really doesn't matter. I've always had a philosophy that if they're not paying my bills, it really doesn't matter to me. So I've been living since I've been an adult, taking care of myself. I've always lived that way. So time, I put a lot of time into this business, probably more than anything else. And I can't speak for Thomas because he is literally always going. But I do devote a lot of time. So it does take away from some of the questions he's going to ask me later in terms of like housework and stuff like that. I'm always like super focused from the time I get up until the time I go to bed on what I could do to grow the business. Money, it helps us become smarter about money. I had to come up with a plan before I left work, like to save, emergency plan and things like that. And we're always thinking about money and ways to grow our money, to grow our finances, because we want to move, we want to be out of debt. We want to be able to move freely and not have to worry about the bill collectors or anything like that. So it is a concern, but that is why I am, building this business and other businesses to make money, lots of money. Like Kaya said a couple weeks ago, I want all the money. So I hope that answered all of those.
Well, as far as time is concerned, it's a challenge because I'm not really ready to go quite yet full-time reselling. I've got the clean out business going on. I just started doing some minor landscaping, and that's money that helps pays the bill. And I can't really chuck it yet. My numbers haven't gone up. My numbers are really fluctuating up and down depending on how much time I put into it. So the time aspect is kind of rough because I have to kind of balance. When I get a call to go do a clean out, for example, I got to go, and then we have to, because we have our two daughters, both have jobs. We have to figure out how to get them to and from, and I got tied up today and I got home just enough time. I guess we got her to work on time, but I just got home in enough time. So time is a bit of a challenge. And I think when I make the transition from everything else I'm doing to full-time reselling, it'll get easier. But I think we stay up later at night than we used to, because we kind of have to share the late thing. I know I get up later than I used to because I used to be up at 6. I still get up at 6, but I'll go back to sleep in a heartbeat. As far as the money is concerned, the money is getting better because we're getting better at selling. And we're both looking forward to the day that we will both be able to say everything else we don't have to do. We'll resell, or we'll just sell information, and that's it. I had to give up flea markets because it took up too much time. I'm looking to do that with the clean out business as well. So the time it's getting better. As far as relationships concerned, I think we are closer. Like Leslie said, we had we have our issues, but we're stronger because we've gotten to know each other better, and we both know that each other, we're in each other's corner for real. So that's about it. Now, as far as my family's concerned, there's a lot of them.
Hey, sis-in-law.
Yeah, well, Terry's one of them. There's a lot of them, and I don't really know if they know what I do or they don't. But I'm older, quite a bit older than Leslie, and all my sibs. I think all my sibs are older than you, aren't they? Yeah. So everybody's older, and
Older.
everybody does what they do, and nobody really, has a judgment as to what I do. So that's really not an issue, just like she said. So
yeah,
that's it.
My thing is, like, just with anything, families can be a little bit hesitant, but it's not like you're trying to sell them anything. If I talk to anybody in my family about what I'm doing, it's casually, and then you can ask anybody, do you have any clothes or anything? I don't want them, because the first thing people will say, can you sell my stuff? And I absolutely say, no, I'm not doing any consignment. I'm not selling anything, but I will teach you how to sell. It literally takes less than, a couple hours to pull up any app, if you know eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, whatever, and I will gladly show you how to sell some clothes. We all wear clothes. We all have appliances. We all have electronics. That's the thing for me. So the challenge that I have is then when adults say that they don't have any money or they don't have a way to make money, I prove you wrong 100%. So I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. So some friends have jumped on. Hey, Daniela. Hey, Quimby. Hey, Laurie. Hey, Kristi. I saw, Glow Girl Glow is Nikki, and she does a lot of budgeting. I was on her live last week, and she does a lot of budgeting. And so I'm really happy what she's doing, how the reselling has helped her bring in some extra income to pay off debt. And she's really growing. She's only been selling since January, and I'm super proud of her. Hey, Lizette, New England Betty Boop, what's going on? And here's Kristi from Philly. I've always sold things because I enjoyed having extra money to get house fixed, or if kids needed something, even though I had a full-time job. My husband felt it took up too much time, so he left. That was his loss. Yes, we've talked about that. And it's not even about that. That's a whole nother issue. But strong women do intimidate some men. So what can you do?
When people are looking for an excuse, any excuse will do,
Yeah, definitely.
Let's leave that alone.
Hey, look, Thomas and I, we've both been divorced, so we know how that goes. You move on. So
right, my next question. What are some of the benefits and drawbacks from working from home?
So the benefits of working from home is I can make my own hours. I can do whatever I want, and I can design my business structure the way that I want to. That's like the greatest benefit. So I can work as long as I want, or if I get up in the morning and I decide I don't want to work, I can do that. Some of the drawbacks from home are, of course, now that I'm doing podcasts and I'm doing videos, that I have to really figure out when the trash people are coming, when the train is running. The other day I was in the middle of something and the guy was just revving up his motorcycle. That's one of the challenges. But then I see that you have it on a later question. Sometimes it's hard when other people are home, like when the teenager's home. Now that she's home, she doesn't realize that I work full time, or my phone is constantly ringing because people they know that you're home. They take it for granted. And so they're calling all day and they want you to be present for them. I don't pick up my phone, so they'll ring and then all of a sudden it becomes a text message and then it becomes a voice message. So I don't pick up. I just get back to them when I'm done with office hours, whenever that may be.
As far as benefits and drawbacks, obviously there's some tax benefits from working from home. You take the square footage of your office area, blah, blah, blah. You know how that goes. You tax people. Also, you're not paying fees because, for example, some of the other things I used to do, I used to have to rent a storage building. Everything's here now. We're self-contained. Mm-hmm. That's one of the other benefits. You work more when you're self-employed, you're an entrepreneur. You do more work. That's just bottom line. And so the work is nearby, so you don't have to worry about going to work. You go downstairs. That's where your work is. Or you go upstairs. That's where your work is. So there are many benefits. I don't really have any drawbacks because, the teens mess with mommy. They don't really mess with me. So, my teenage daughter, when I have some other outside work other than reselling, I grabbed her today. Yeah, she may have to go to the landfill to help me go to the scrapyard or something like that. So nobody really bothers me as far as drawbacks. I don't really see that many drawbacks for me personally working from home. Just it's more beneficial,
Yeah. So Laurie said, I grew up in a reselling family. My daddy always sold stuff, mail order, and would be so proud of me and his reselling grandkids. Yes, Laurie is kicking butt. She is in the Seattle area. And let's see, Quimby is funny. here's Quimby. She said, let's leave that alone. It's going to be my new line. See, Thomas, you start and stuff.
What did I do?
When you were talking about relationship, let's leave that alone. So, so everybody, the people who are just joining, again, drop your information so that people can follow you and support you. That's what this community is all about. And if you have any questions for people who have never met Thomas, or you've never heard him talk or anything, and you're curious about him, like, how did he end up with like this super wonderful special person like myself? So you can shout out that into the comments. Even my sister-in-law was probably curious as to how, he caught me. Look at his face. What's your next question?
We already talked about family, but the next question was, is your family, I mean your extended family, like sibs, mother, father, are they, do they agree with what you're doing, or are they a non-issue, as we mentioned earlier?
Well, in terms of like the financial piece, they're a non-issue. But one of the great things is that I'm blessed to have both of my parents still living, and both my step parents. So my parents are, married to other people, hence the word step parents, right? But the thing is, which is like really cool, I wasn't realizing that my parents were literally listening to my podcast and watching my videos and things like that. And when I post things, I don't really post a lot of personal things. I mean, a lot of business things on Facebook, but every now and then, like when I was going to be at Posh Fest, and like I just did this reseller symposium. So things like that, I'll post that are like important business things. Like I don't like say bye for me or anything like that. And I'll get like a message or a phone call. And it's almost like my parents, who have never been married, will call me or send me a message on the same day. Like my mother's like, you're going to be super rich. You're going to like influence the people. And my father keeps saying, when is that book coming, and how proud he is of me. And every time I talk to him, he'll tell me about all the videos that he watched. And every time that I drop a video, he watches it. So that is really encouraging. That's the best part of the family piece. And then like my sister will pop in, and she was talking to someone a few weeks ago who I didn't know had a connection in with actor and actresses. And I just happened to hop on that live, because I saw my sister on there, and the person was like, who is that? And she was like, oh, that's my sister. And then she's like, you need to meet my sister because she's doing this. And the person was like, we need to connect. So that was like really cool to see that I had like that support, and then also that new contact.
Again, I have 7 sibs. We're all still living. I'm the oldest. I'm 62. My youngest is 52. They're used to me. I've always sold something somehow, some way, since I was a small child, and they're used to me. Yeah, what's he selling now? Because I've gone through the multi-level marketing businesses, trying to get them connected with that stuff. That didn't work out, but they were always used to me trying to sell something. Sometimes sell them stuff. All kinds of things I've done since a child. I guess my personal observation on entrepreneurs is some of them are born and some of them are made. I think I was born an entrepreneur. Yeah. And some people become entrepreneurs because they're put in a situation where they have to become entrepreneurs to take care of their children and stuff like that. I've always done it since I was a small child. I was the quintessential lemonade stand kid. I always had something going on. So my family's used to me doing it. It's not a big deal to them. That's normal for them. And also, I had a regular job. I was a 25-year career firefighter, so I had a regular job as well. So they're more I guess intrigued the fact that I was a fireman than anything else. Yeah. But my family's cool with what I do, so they're not issues to me.
So guys, like I did not know Thomas when he was a firefighter, so I know like the stories and things. But when he says he had a regular job, I say, to me, that's superhero stuff. Okay. When people are running out, firefighters run in, and they are the ultimate essential worker. So he didn't just have a regular job, so that's the way that I look at it. And I always admire him for that. And he also was in the Air Force. So when he says, yeah, I had a regular job, people are like, what kind of, they just think you did some office work. And then he'll say, oh yeah, 25 years as a firefighter. That's not a regular job, sweetie. That is a superhero. So let me go to the comments. Okay, New England Betty Boop, she's my moderator. She's making sure we don't have any spammers. She is Lizette, and she is Posh is My Purpose on Instagram. And so on Instagram, she's having a giveaway when she hits 5,000. and she's at 4,800 now, so go support her. Next Tuesday, Lizette and her husband Andrew, they're going to be on with Thomas and I, and we're going to be doing some talking from the couple perspective. They're both from New Yorkers, and they'll be able, I think Andrew and Thomas will have a lot to talk about. So this Three Queens resale is Stephanie. Hey, everyone, follow her on YouTube. Stephanie is coming out with some really great content. She just started selling on Kitizen. If you don't know what Kitizen is, it's a platform just to sell children's clothes. Check her out here on YouTube and on Instagram. I met Stephanie at Posh Fest. And she's a teacher, so she's doing virtual learning and teaching with her students. School is almost over, right, Stephanie? Awesome. Here we go. Oh, thank you so much, Lizette. I appreciate it. It was so much fun. Okay. Next question. Yeah.
A lot of the questions that I've asked, we've already kind of asked this, but I have already asked, but does your family respect your work hours? In other words, are we tapping on the door? This is me too. Are we tapping on the door or bothering you when you're trying to work? Is the music too loud downstairs? I've toned my music down because sometimes it's down a little bit. What's that thing you do with your head?
Oh, no, because we had an incident this morning. Like, it's business. What? I don't know. What?
I don't know either.
So I try to I think the same thing. Like, when Thomas is home, I have to really because I like to spend time with him. So I have to really time myself going into his space, because I have to think about how would I feel if somebody's constantly knocking on my door. And he doesn't have a closed door in his office. It's like our living room that he turned into an office, where I have a closed door. I could put a sign up, I'm doing videos or whatever. That sign stays up all day long, but they listen at the door to make sure I'm not taping or anything. But I try to be respectful, but I also like to, go. He has a nice comfortable chair, and I like to sit with him and talk to him. So then sometimes I'm like, okay, I can tell if he's just not paying attention to me at all, that he's really focused, because he cannot multitask at all. He can only focus on one thing at a time, whereas I can kind of go. I can work on this and then turn around. He has to really.
So yeah, I can do two things at one time.
Yeah,
just not technical things.
But I think they're respectful. I know if I really don't want our youngest Sonia to come in the room, I'll just send her a text message. In the morning before she even gets out of the bed. So that's the first thing that she sees. And I'll say, don't bother me, and that's probably mean as a parent, but she's going off to school. She has to learn how to be respectful. She don't want her roommates just busting in or whatever. So I'm teaching her, don't bother me. I'm busy. And then I'll give her a time. I'm like, you can talk to me at 1 o'clock. That's probably when I'm taking a bathroom break. And then again, I don't want to see you again until 5 o'clock, or if I'm taking tomorrow, I don't have to drive her to work. I don't want to see you all day, babe. Because Thomas and I take her and Thomas picks her up. I don't want to see you, so that's Laurie, stop. Don't even leave it there, Laurie. She's trying to say, because I was saying we had an issue this morning.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Yes, he does.
I'm going to skip the next question about housework. Do you miss your regular job?
I'm sorry.
That was funny.
It's hysterical. I'm laughing so hard that I'm sweating over here. I do not miss my regular job. Now, one of the reasons why I don't miss my regular job, because it was very stressful. And that was really the deciding factor in me coming home and saying, you know what, I have to do this full time. I worked as, of course, a lunch lady, and I worked in a high school, but it wasn't the students, it was management. You guys ever heard that? It's not the job, it's management that will make you lose good employees. And I've left places because management has just been horrible. And my manager was just a gossip, a troublemaker. I had to put her in her place several times, and I just couldn't deal with it. And she wasn't, doing her manager job. She liked to just have a good time. And so the bulk of the work fell on me. And so I would say no if I had to work that job. Now, if I had a little cafe, when I met Thomas and I was baking and I was just upstairs in the cafe with my headphones baking, that I could do. And that's why I stay serve safe, because I always make sure I have something to fall back on, that if I knew I needed some money in an emergency, I could go look and see maybe I can work and bake some cakes in a cafe somewhere. But a big corporate job, or a job where there's more than 3 people in the kitchen, I could never do that again. The only thing I miss that I gave up would be the dental benefits. But we do have medical with Thomas, and we'll have to figure out how to get dental, or I'll just be wearing some prosthetics, you know.
Do I miss my regular job? Absolutely, yes. I totally miss it. Because being a firefighter is exciting. The guys I worked with were fun. I was in my hometown, so I knew how to get around, and they make you learn all the streets. And after the first 5 years, I was kind of terrified, kind of scared, but eventually you get used to doing the job, and the job basically became fun. And then after I got promoted, there's a lot of things I didn't have to do anymore, so it really became fun then. But you miss the excitement. There's not too much that you can do that's exciting as actually going to the fire. You're blowing the air horn, you're pulling up, people are screaming and yelling, and it's just a huge amount of excitement that it's a rush, and even being in the fire, how can you like being in a fire? Because when you're in the fire building, you kind of know about the science of fire, so you know when things are getting funky, when you got to get out of there. You have your personal protective equipment on, you're going into the room, the fire may be up there. Okay, the fire's up there. Maybe they're going to vent the roof. Maybe we got to kick a door in, or, unfortunately, I've seen several fire deaths as well. And, and every time I even think about it, I can see in my mind the people I saw that passed away. But as far as pure excitement, yes, I missed the job. But see, it ended at a time when I was with my first wife, and I wanted to spend more time with my children. Mm-hmm. And so it was time for me to leave. I had enough time in to retire and get a full pension. So it was time to go. And I got hurt a couple times, and that was not cool. And I said to myself, well, as I'm getting older, I could get into a situation where I may not be able to recover from, because quite frankly, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So the little injuries that I had, I broke a couple bones. I had a few injuries. When it was time to go, it was time to go, and I got to spend a lot more time with my children.
Yeah.
And I think I have great relationships with my children, from my first wife, because of the time that I was able to spend with them after I retired. There was a good period of time that I spent with them. But do I miss it? I do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna get personal real quick. One of the things that attracted me to Thomas the most was the love that he had for his girls. At the time, they were all three of his daughters are basketball players. They all got into college. Even the youngest, now full scholarship, they all got into college playing basketball, and that is because of Thomas. He got them started from the oldest into the youngest. But when we met, he was like, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you right up front. I'm taking my girls to basketball, we're traveling, whatever, you have an issue with that." I looked, and in my head, I was going, "Are you crazy? Why would I have an issue with that? I can't even find my baby daddy." And you were spending time with your girls. So that was a big thing for me. And then he also moved from one state to be here with his girls. I think he even retired early or something. So come on now, you can't get any sexier than that. So it's a couple people who asked the same question. Lizette, New England Betty Boop, and Kristi Blocker asked the same question.
Everybody cooked. But the cool thing is my boss, he was battalion chief. He was a chef quality cook. I mean, he could burn, throw down, and he would cook for us quite often. He'd have barbecues or he'd cook us some special meals. He was a pain in the ass to work for, though, but it was kind of hard to get mad at him. Because of that. Hold on one second. This is a guy I want to come in. Hold on. So, yeah. Hey, Aaron, what's up? I sent you a text because we're doing our Tucker Talks on YouTube. We're doing it right now, so tune in if you want to. YouTube, A Reseller's Passion. Gotta go. I'm doing it right now. Okay.
Oh no. Hey, Aaron. Okay, so
that's one of my best friends. Aaron and I have been friends for 50 years, so that's why I took that call. I'm sorry. 50 years we've been friends.
Yeah,
literally.
He has a group of friends, and they've been friends for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Laurie says, takes a special kind of person to be a firefighter. My daddy was a police officer when I was little. I don't know how mom handled it. Thank you, Thomas. Definitely. Yes.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. The essential workers, I'm telling you, they're superheroes. They go in, they don't get time off except for, people are probably working more now. I totally different subject, but there was a police chase yesterday in Philly, and I actually watched it. It was so amazing to see like these police officers chasing this guy in the helicopter gone. They were really serious about their job. So
You mean a foot chase?
No, he was in a car, and the thing is, it was a real chase right in Philly, and it was like, I guess it was like my dad's area. I was like, I know that neighborhood, and it was just the guy was just going, and even when they had him like backed up at one point, the police officers got out of the car with the guns. He backed up and he went, and when they finally caught him, he couldn't go anywhere. He was even trying to drive through the bushes and stuff. It was crazy. So police officers, firefighters, all the essential. I think we're all essential, but right now some jobs are more important than the others because we have restaurant workers who are essential, people who are trying to maintain their businesses and things like that. So does anybody have any questions? Style by Paula, definitely. I can imagine you dreading going back. We'll have to wear a face mask and face shield. Yeah, that's crazy right there. It's like a whole new. And so New England Betty Boop said hi to Terry Tucker. She is Thomas's sister. They're the two oldest.
And I'm going to try to get her involved in Poshmark. I tried to get her on eBay a couple of years ago, but eBay is a little technical, a little difficult for a newbie. So I think that's my opinion. So
Lizette, you better stop.
I'm going to try to get her involved when I get down. We move. So
Thomas is a whole different animal. So Lizette is my moderator. And she actually is my official moderator. So if people come on and they try to spam or whatever, she just deletes their message. So when I was on the other day, she couldn't see her comments. So she was texting me and calling me. And I'm like, I'm not picking up. I'm on a live. Everyone else was commenting. She just couldn't see anything. And she was like, I just couldn't do my job. So she's saying I didn't answer her. I'm sorry. So Thomas, so for reselling, what do you like about it that keeps you going? I mean, of course, the money, but what about it keeps you going every single day?
It's the independence, because even when I was a firefighter, I didn't like people telling me what to do. Even the nicest person, well, you probably know this from experience. It's hard to tell me what to do and have me accept it in a humble way. It's just something about it, because I've been so independent all my life. When you tell me what to do, it's like my mind's like, who do you think you're talking to? Because and so when I make my own money in any way I make it, whether I'm cutting grass, reselling, doing a clean out, I feel good. And of course I always pay my taxes. It just gives you a sense of independence that I enjoy. I'm making my own money. I'm creating my own money. Nobody can tell me how much I can make. Nobody can put a limit on how much I make per hour, per day, per whatever. The limit's on me. Yeah.
You say because when somebody tells you what to do. So what I say to that, Terry, is not disrespectfully, but I know where he's coming from, and I am a gentle persuader. Like, it's not a lot that bothers me, and I go, so that's why we do get along. Again, we may have some, differences, and that's just all around. It's age or whatever. It's temperament. I'm pretty really chill. I don't know if it's not that many people as chill as me, and so I'm just like, so it's not really like a big deal. And I think he's more hard on himself than he really needs to be. So for me, honestly, I will tell you, I'm just starting to really appreciate reselling. I don't have like a love for it like I do for crafts and baking and all the creative outlets that I have, because I'm more creative than anything else. Whereas reselling is like you're taking some other things and selling it, where I rather make something and sell it because I feel more accomplished that way. And so what I've done with reselling is really kind of like reinvent myself by taking items and repainting them in these sneakers that I'm painting. Lizette, I did some green sneakers. I don't know if you saw it, size 8, but reinventing what I'm doing, and also working in some new markets like vintage. I ordered some vintage stuff. I put a call out. A couple people are sending me some free vintage items, which is really good. I have a couple deliveries coming. And so I'm trying some new things. So I'm really excited about that, and selling things all around the house. I'm making money. I just sold, when I was on live with Sarah last night, I made 2 sales back to back on Macari. So that's what I like about reselling, is that in a sense I can kind of reinvent myself, and it really doesn't have to be what the status quo is, like what people think reselling is. And that's what I try to get the community to understand. You can take something that's already existing and make it your own. You know, I think Manish said the same thing. He's like, make it your own, and then you'll be successful. Just forget what the other people are doing. You may take a little bit from everyone, and that's what I've been doing, and then molding it into my own creation.
And I was telling you the other day, I was talking to my first cousin, Jimmy. I don't think you've ever met him. And there are lots of people that don't know that there is such a thing as reselling. You know, I don't know. It's because of their socioeconomic background. They're just used to getting everything new. They go to the store, they buy it. Everything was purchased for them as children. But a lot of people don't know that there's a market for used clothing, shoes, used stuff, used electronics. There's a market for it.
Yeah.
And you know, we've tapped into that market. And you know, I knew about it because I was, you know, doing the flea market for many years, you know, always buying. And, you know, there are times in my life where I never bought anything new except underwear and socks, you know, everything I purchased.
So kind of the way that it is.
Au contraire. No, I just bought some underwear. That was new. I bought some socks. That was new. Oh, wait a minute. I bought a pair of brand new jeans the other day, but they were only $10.99. So, and actually they fit pretty well. Yeah. You know, it's kind of hard to compete with Walmart. That's why I'm not, you know, I'm kind of signing off on selling jeans, but yeah, it's kind of that way still. Yeah. So
Lizette, what's your sign?
Cheap. Dollar sign? No.
Yeah, he's not frugal. He's cheap. It's a whole belief. It's a whole different thing going on there. Like if he can find it or whatever, like inexpensively or free. Yeah. So what's your sign, sweetie?
Scorpio.
He's a Scorpio. But from what I understand, though, the Cancer female and the Scorpion men can kind of get together. I don't know. He's venomous with a hard shell, and I have hard claws and a hard shell. So I don't know. But what do you think? So behind that hard shell, though, I'm so sweet.
Me too.
Okay. Well, thank you, Paula. I appreciate it. I was going to put it up. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Thank you very much. And yes, Kim Miller, hello. I agree with that statement. You can hold yourself accountable, but today I took off, and that is okay. Exactly. It is okay to take off. And it's also okay not to be okay, to have some feelings and some bad days and things like that.
When was the last time one of us had a date that we did not do anything related to resale? Yeah. It has not happened.
No.
Because it's enjoyable. Plus it's at home because, you know, right in front of me, I've actually got a phone. I got the laptop. I got two computers with two different screens. I can multitask, but I can, you know, follow. I can list. I can watch something, watch a nerd show over here, you know, look at my phone. I got all kinds of things going on. So it's just comfortable here in my office. And I'm sure it's comfortable in your office too. So, you know.
Yeah, I purposely, and I talk about that a lot, especially when I do videos and when I did my room clean out. Like there are some people, they have to be at a desk. They have to get up and get dressed during the day. I'm like, I'm home. I'm sorry. I may not, on the weekends, I may wear pajamas, but during the week, like now, I have sweats and yoga pants. That's how it's going to be forever. I'm never dressing up to be in the comfort of my home. I'm going to be home without a bra. That's what it's all about. I think that you can be productive. I have my TV going on most of the day. And if I do decide, like Sundays are supposed to be my self-care Sundays. So what I do is I move really slow and I don't do a lot. Like I don't do any listing or anything like that, but I will share. So I decide I'm going to drink my coffee. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever program. And then behind the scenes, then I can share. I get a lot of sharing done on Sunday. I don't have to like go for it. I had to decide. And then one day during the week, like tomorrow may be a day that I'm just not doing as much, where I'll share and I'll pack up my packages and things like that, but I probably won't list. And these days I only list about 5 things a day. And if I don't want to do anything at all, I won't, but then I'll probably just relist, you know, on a day. You don't have to list, friends, you can relist. So it's really important to just take time for yourself. But it's very comfortable in my office. I really love my space. So Style by Paula, do I add gifts? I do not add any gifts.
I don't either. Mm-mm.
I don't give any extra stuff. I print out my own labels, my stickers, and they say thank you. I have two, one for my Etsy shop, and then my Macari shop and my Poshmark shop have the same name. So I have stickers that just say, thank you or reseller's passion. And then for Poshmark, because I had 4 or 5 Posh and Sips, they gave me all this swag. So it was over 1,000 postcards with stickers. So I don't have to buy another thank you card or anything. But I don't give gifts. It's just me. It has nothing to do with anyone else. I mean, everyone does their own thing. Like Lizette, my wonderful friend with the foo-foo that she does. I just don't, because like Thomas, that's when I start getting cheap. I use plastic bag and I might put it into a poly mailer or the free packaging from the U.S. Postal Service. And just like Thomas, in all the years that he's been selling, he's never got a negative because of packaging or not having. So I just think any extra that you do is still money. Even though people say they budget for it, why budget for it? That's money I could save. That's how I look at it. So everybody has their why and things. Like I don't have a VA. I don't do a listing service. I do that strategically. There are some people whose businesses are growing like that, but I purposely keep my business in a tiny box so that I don't have to do that. I'd rather have that money for myself. And if I find I don't have the time, then I have to restructure and reschedule so that I have the time. I don't want to give any extra money that I have to. The purpose is to make money so that we can save it. And that's why I know.
And I was relaying a story to Leslie, I think the other day. Think about Christmas time. You take all the time to package up everything all fancy with ribbons and bows in it. And then, Christmas, rip. They throw it away. So all the fancy stuff you're doing, 99% of it is going to get thrown away within minutes. They're going to throw it away. So why spend the extra money? Now, if I'm selling something that's really high end, I'm going to try to package it neatly and safely, but make it pretty. I'm not about pretty. I'm about functional. Like I said before, it's form, it's function. I believe in just get there as quickly as you possibly can and as safe as you possibly can, and don't damage it.
Here's the package that I package. This is for Etsy. This is a vintage album. It's got bubble wrap and it's in a bubble wrap packaging. There you go. I mean, it's in a clear bag, but that's it. I'm not getting all, this is my packages for tomorrow. So there you go. It's they're getting it. And also, like, because I've been like a closet consultant and done a lot of stuff in the Poshmark community, we think that people want gifts and it's very nice. And of course they're going to say, how nice. And then they're, when they do their reviews and stuff, but there's a lot of people who have contacted Poshmark to ask people to please stop sending that. People will open cases. Like when I get something that has a gift in it, it upsets me because I'm like, I don't want that. I just want my gift. That's just me. So I just want to tell you that we think from ourselves, we have to really start thinking about our customers and from their perspective. And so sometimes they don't want it. There have been tons of cases. I've been doing this for a while, and I've done, again, at Posh Fest Closet Consultation, and I've been in a couple groups, and people really don't want it. And I've actually talked to a couple people at Poshmark. So just think about like your money from now on. Of course, tissue paper and things like that, that's beautiful. It doesn't cost any money, but the extra gifts, your customers really don't want it. They can't do anything with it. I got some nail polish a couple weeks ago. One, I was kind of upset that why are you putting nail polish in with my package? Poshmark, we're not even allowed to sell nail polish. I got this off of Vinted. What if that thing exploded into my package? So that's the first thing that I was not happy with. See, this is Lizette. She really gets, look, she's like, Thomas, don't take Christmas from me. Lizette, sweetie, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, because this is just our personal philosophy.
And she said her husband agrees 100%, but she does it anyway.
That is just our personal philosophy. Just get it to the people. And the thing is, the numbers don't lie. Most of my reviews are 5-star. 5-star. Every now and then I'll get 4-star. I think the whole time I've been doing Poshmark, I've gotten 2 1-stars. And there's just some people that are going to be fussy no matter what you do. The last one I got that was 1 star. I'm like, it was a set of Dansko shoes. It had some scuffs on the front. I took pictures of the scuffs, and the rest of the shoes looked good. I told them that it was scuffed. I showed them pictures of the scuffing, and they still complain. Well, you didn't show a good picture. What kind of picture you want? I mean, what do you want? It's like 1 star. I don't care about that though, because 99% of my reviews are 5 stars. So I must be doing something right, and I'm saving money.
Too. That's what I say too. I'm like over 2,000 in some sales. And I said, you got to give me a couple hundred, bad reviews in order. So it's not a big deal to me. And that is something, the conversation I bring to Instagram to just start a conversation. So Style by Paul said, I hired my teenage son to be my VA. Thomas and I used to do that. Our girls used to share, like my daughter Sonia used to share for me. She's the youngest. And then in return for shares, I used to actually just buy her clothes off of Poshmark. And then both our teenage girls started selling on Poshmark. They still do an occasion. Sonia just sold some Timbs for $40 the other day. But they both have jobs now. But that's what I tell people. I'm like, my grandbaby, when she comes over, she's 6 years old. Here, this is my mom's phone. See that? All you have to do is share, So like, I just say, if you get creative, you really don't have to hire anyone. Like, that's just me. I just think like all these services and stuff, like, of course, if you work a full-time job or whatever, if that's what you want to do. But I just think if you really, really sat down and looked at it, the average person's not making enough money to have someone. So not the big sellers who can do it, but the average person, it's like because they heard somebody say that they're doing a listing service, or they heard somebody with a VA. Even in the groups, people are saying, you have a VA, and I'm like, well, are you making any money? Like, I'm not making any sales, and why you want a VA? So just get creative. Kim Miller, take care, have a great night. Lizette is my moderator. She's saying hit the thumbs up. Yes, because the more you comment and the more you hit the thumbs up, I will go up into the feed, because Leslie's trying to get monetized. So if you don't subscribe, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and also hit the bell so you can get reminders of when I'm going live and when I drop new videos. I just released a video today. I filmed all the mugs, and I told all the story behind all the mugs that I have. And I actually had a chance to toss them because they were chipped. Some I had before I even met Thomas. So check that out. Someone had asked me for that, and I thought it was like really fun. And it took me a couple hours to put that together because I had to put like little pictures up the top. I'm getting really better with my editing. Does anyone have any questions? I saw something here. You have anything you want to add, Thomas?
Well, the same question I think you probably asked before. What does the future hold? Where do you want this thing to go?
Well, for me, I have big dreams, so my dreams don't even aren't really reselling related, actually, because I am growing so much in like just my personality and the way that I feel inside and just my personal growth, that I want to be able to spread like my message of love. And, so I want to get into more motivational speaking, and I want to get into more digital products. I don't want to have any physical products. So literally my 2 to 5 year plan is to not to have any physical products at all. So when I look at people who have like the warehouses and getting pallets and all that, I look at it and sometimes it makes my stomach roll because I just can't. It's so much product and so much stuff. And that's when you really have to hire people. And I just go, yeah, I don't want to do that. But where I'm at right now, I can maintain by myself and also start doing things like webinar and creating courses and things that are non-reselling related, so that I can reach a broader amount of people in the business community. And then also with my new brand, Am I Really Bald? Not just alopecia, but women who have challenges and things like that. So it's a lot of things that I'm trying to accomplish that have nothing to do with reselling, kind of like 50% reselling right now, but by December, I only want that to be like 30% of what I'm doing.
I'm in total agreement with that. I think I said to you many years ago that I believe that the thing that people need and want the most is information.
Yeah.
I want to be Tony Robbins or Les Brown. I want to speak to people, because I believe that people that make the most money do the least amount of physical work.
Yeah.
Now, people always say that, no, don't work harder, work smarter. Well, I think it's all hard work. So I like to say work. How do I like to say it? You still have to work hard.
Yeah.
Regardless, work smarter at working harder. That's a better way to put it. So I agree. I don't want to have any physical products either. I just want to be an information broker or speak to people about ways to make money, because I also am a believer. A quote I saw recently was that you make the most money when you help other people make money.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's why we're here. So we're in total agreement with that. I want to, and we're both doing a good job of getting rid of the stuff that we have, because we had, it's amazing how much stuff we actually have sitting around this house.
Yeah.
How much stuff, go. Everybody's worried about the thrift stores open back up. I'm just gonna go downstairs.
Yeah.
That's my thrift store, or some of these bags or some of these bins of stuff that we have sitting around. I've got a stereo over there that I said I was gonna put online 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's still sitting there. I'm gonna do that probably tonight. Get that thing online. I've got a thrift store here, and so does Leslie.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be sourcing. We're gonna source here at home, and then hopefully we get to the point where we're just going to be motivational speakers.
Yeah. So I said this last night. I'm going to answer Laurie's question in a minute and let Thomas answer. But I said this last night when I was on Sarah's live, just to piggyback off of what Thomas just said. I feel exactly the same way that he does. I am not sourcing. I am not going out, even if our store's open. This has nothing to do with anyone. So it's nothing, everybody has their own personal beliefs about this. It's exactly what Thomas was saying. Our goal, we're moving, right? So what I'm doing is I don't normally sell a Macari. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to sell a Macari, and I've been very successful. And the reason why is I've turned Macari into my own personal yard sale. So I've been going through, I went to my basement last week, and as people saw, if you didn't see the video of all the things I pull out of the bin, I sold pans. I've sold so much stuff. I've found drawer pulls. This stuff is selling. Stuff I had, baking things, all cookie cutters. And so then tomorrow I'm going in the closet. I'm going to do another video and pull all this stuff out that I had taken off of eBay that's just been sitting in there. Then I'm going to go under my bed. I'm going to go into my own closet. I'm going to go to all the drawers. So that'll give me a chance to get rid of throw it away, real trash stuff, but things that I know that I can get a profit for, I'm going to be reselling. I gave myself a test last week. Half of that stuff that I listed already sold, and it's amazing. And it wasn't for like a lot of money, but it was more than I was getting just sitting there. $12 for some wooden drawer pulls, $20 for some little mini pans. I can't wait to see if the cookie cutters are. So I have 48 cookie cutters, all shapes. So go through your house. It's a garage sale literally in your house. That's why people have garage sales. Now you can ship it out. You get a label and you ship it out. So Laurie says, what are you each most proud of about the other as far as your reselling business? You want to go, Thomas?
The things that we're doing right now, the fact that she's gotten to the point, where she claims to be shy, a little over a year ago, and now she knows all these people's names. Everybody knows her name. She's a consultant. She's that. That's that. The fact that she has started to transcend out of just reselling, and has become a personality, with a following, with people that like her and and that know her and all that stuff. That to me is awesome. I was like, wow, I'm not the jealous type, but it's like, this is what I should have been doing instead of being at the flea market, or because I talked to her about it for years, just getting myself to the point where I don't have products, but being the quote provider for everybody, because I got child support I'm paying, I got children here, children there, all the stuff I have to do to keep the money coming in and to take care of home. It just it's just been hard for me to disconnect, but I'm at that point now where I'm ready to just say, I think I can cut that out, and get to the point where I wanted to be years ago. But that's what I'm most proud of, what we're doing right now.
Yeah, like the piggyback, because this is true. Like, so many people don't believe that for the most part I'm an introvert, and like introvert doesn't always have to be shy. It's a person who just like is comfortable where they are. Like, I was in the house for a month. If my daughter hadn't gotten a job, I really wouldn't be in a hurry. Thomas and I take turns. I drop her off, he picks her up because she works till 11 at night. If I didn't have to do anything for her, I would probably stay in the house, because Thomas is going every day. So it's easy for him to say what you want from the store or whatever. But I can sit in the house because it's a place that we pay bills for. So why not take advantage of the the place that you're spending the most money, right? We're paying bills and cable and all that other stuff. So he would say, oh, I want to do videos and things like that. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get in front of the camera. And finally I got in front of the camera on my own, and it just like escalated into like such this wonderful community, you know. And like I always say, like a year ago, I didn't know any of you, and just the process of meeting each person and getting to know you one-on-one. So what I'm most proud about with Thomas is not even for the reselling business, but as a whole, I have never in my life, and this is the honest to God truth, never seen anybody hustle the way that he hustles. He motivates me every day because he's constantly going. Even when he has like aches and pains, when he hurt his back, he was still moving. He has a knee issue, he's still moving. And he does it because there's a reason behind it, but he still keeps on going. Like with me, I can go out there and walk, take my hour walk, and I'm done for the day. Thomas will come home and get the lawnmower going, you know, or he's like doing something on the truck.
Gotta get done.
So, and that's the thing. His mentality is like, it's got to get done. I'll be in the bed knocked out. Next thing I know, like last week, I woke up, something scared me. He's banging outside. So his absolute hustle from the day I met him, when he was selling books and stuff on Amazon, it was like, wow. You know, growing up with, you know, men or whatever, you don't always see that. So that it was a welcome, and he's still the same way that he was, probably even more so when I met him. So yeah, that's what I appreciate, everything as a whole with him. So Stephanie says, our thrift stores opened last week. I went once, but I need to clean out my house out also. I'm going to go room at room, and definitely, especially definitely motivated by the fact that you're selling your daughter's clothes. And Thomas, he says that I know people, and that's really the goal for me. The person that I am, the person that you see is the person I am, especially the people who have met me in real life, the people who are here who have met me. Laurie and Lizette has met me, and you know that I'm the person that I am. I try to like follow everybody and look at everybody's stuff, and I like to know names, and it's really important. Like when I go into a room, I want to shake your hand and look you in the eye. I really had a great conversation when I met Stephanie. She was like, I follow you, you know, she was like, I follow you on Instagram. And I turned around and had a great conversation with her. And then we still stayed connected. And that's what it's really about for me. She says, I think it's a Scorpio thing. I'm the same way, going and going. Yeah, Nikki is an essential worker right now. She's working for the Postal Service, and she's coming home. She's working her business. She's doing some new stuff, interviewing people. So don't forget to drop your stuff in the comments, even when the live is over, so that people can follow you. Everybody should be following Laurie Richardson. Laurie, put in your handle on Instagram. Your Seattle somebody, I'm sorry. Three Queens Resell, Style by Paula, New England Betty Boop, who is Posh is My Purpose, Glow Girl Glow. Everybody should be following everyone. If you're following me, you should be following everyone else. So does anybody have any last minute questions for Thomas and I? You have anything else you want to add? Oh, look, this is Laurie again. Yes, Laurie. So Laurie is Seattle gal style, because I always get Laurie and Wendy mixed up. Wendy is Salt City somebody. I'm sorry, ladies, but I know who you are. So she said, you're so much like her husband. He's a Scorpio too. And then Stephanie said she's a Scorpio. Scorpios, no.
You're special.
You're both inspired. Thank you for being such beautiful people. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Stephanie, Style by Paula. She is Thrift Snob. Don't even get him started, Nikki.
Selling on eBay? Yeah.
Don't even get him started.
For eBay, I think if you have high-end, high-dollar things, you'll do all right. But, you know, for low-level things like the shoes that I sell for $40, $50, it just didn't work for me. So that's why I gave up eBay. I would not suggest anybody starting out new to start out with eBay. Start out with the simpler platforms and work your way up. But you can make money, you know. I made money for many, many years on eBay, but eventually it just got to me, the fees, et cetera, and it just got on my nerves. So that's just a personal thing. I would never denigrate or put down anybody that does eBay. That's your thing. That's you do. Yeah, I'm not messing with it. But yeah. I think high-end things on eBay sell well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Thomas. I think you should find a platform that works for you. This is the thing, though. I encourage everyone to try everything at least once, but just what Thomas said, start off on Poshmark and then maybe start off on Mercari, because eBay is Poshmark and Mercari had a baby. It's an in-between, simple platform, and then you can use Pirate Ship or PayPal for your shipping, and you just kind of get used to like weighing and everything. And once you've kind of got Mercari down where you know how to weigh your items and things like that and price them and figure out if you're going to do free shipping or whatever, then you could probably delve into eBay. Right now, if you are going to do eBay, it's the time, because they're giving they're taking fees off. They're doing all kinds of stuff right now. They've added some new features. They are doing a lot of things right now. Some days I go, maybe, then I go, never mind. Especially when I make a sale on Mercari and I go, yeah, I'm good. So when I'm staying in my lane, but I say pick 2 platforms at least. The ladies in my that are in my private group know that. Lizette, Nikki, Laurie, you need to come back. That you pick 2 platforms, one that you love and one that you're making money from. And if you have the one platform that you're making money and you love it, then stick with that, and then maybe venture, So just take your time and don't get crazy. Any last
Laurie called me Mr. Leslie. That's like
people do that.
That's okay. It's okay.
Hey,
people meet me and know me because I'm Leslie's husband. So
yes. Hey, Jacob, what's going on?
It is.
Yeah. So anybody have any last minute questions? Because we're about to head out. Thomas is going to eat his dinner, and I'm going to share. Hey, flipping gals, is that Marina or is that Michelle? Hello from California. Yes, Thomas is like, how do you know these people?
Their names. So many names.
Sea of 16,000. But these are people that I definitely talk to all the time and who come on the lives and things like that and who show support. The flipping gals, we were on Sarah's live last night together. So I just So any last questions for the flipping gals? Do you have any questions? Since you're just coming on, hey Marina, what is going on? You've been on all day, aren't you tired? Goodness. I really need to talk. The flipping gals, if you're not following them, Marina, in the comments, talk about what you're doing. They are doing a webinar to teach you how to sell on OfferUp. So go to Instagram for the flipping gals on Instagram on Saturday. They are doing a webinar. And Marina wants to know what you have for dinner, sweetie.
Oh, I'm having cedar plank salmon and baked vegetables.
Yeah. So Thomas, he does the salmon. He likes to eat healthy. Every now and then, we were just talking about this on my live the other day. I did have a Philly cheesesteak today. So, but definitely don't forget to go to the flipping gals. Follow everybody's here. Everybody put your handle in. Tomorrow after this is live on my account, go back into the comments. But definitely, if you're not following people, so it's a free OfferUp webinar, the flipping gals, and follow them every morning. They're doing a coffee chat. This morning they talked about the things selling on vintage. Every single day they have some really great information, and so just follow everyone. But everyone, yes, Philly cheesesteak. I'm from Philly, Jacob, and here one of the stores happens to make a Philly cheesesteak just like I knew growing up. So. Hey, but I just want to thank everyone for stopping in and talking with Thomas and I. Next Tuesday, we'll be back on again. We're going to be on with New England Betty Boop, who is Posh is My Purpose, and her husband is Andrew the Posh Den. And so I think that he and Thomas will get along. They remind me of each other. But then Thomas always says he gets along with New Yorkers. Anyway, New Yorkers who live in Massachusetts right now, whereas he's like a Jersey / New Yorker kind of guy. I'm from Philly and we live in Delaware. Yeah. Bye, Terry Tucker. And then tomorrow, join me. I will be on with a young lady named Terry. She is evolving always on Instagram, and she will be talking about the stock market. So come on tomorrow live at 8:00. She'll be talking stock market about some things that are changing, what's going on in the world right now. So you don't want to miss that. And then on Thursday, the 21st, is going to be Renee, Fashion Thrifter 2018, and Quimby, the Grateful Queen, will be with me. So hopefully you guys can join us. I want to thank you so much. Hey, Sarah. Look, she's like, mine just finished. What's going on, Sarah? What is going on? We're about to end, but I just want to thank you so much. So don't forget to join us next week with Lizette and Andrew, and tomorrow with Terry, and Thursday with Quimby and Renee. So friends, I just want to I appreciate you so much. I'll see you tomorrow night, and I'll see you on Instagram. Thomas.
Take care, everybody. X.
Pasha X out. Thanks, friends. Take care.
Bye.